So what kind of student were you at Iowa State? Were you pretty studious? What kind of grades did you have as an engineering student?
Well, I always felt like I was an above average student, and I probably really was, but I always felt like there were certainly other students that were quite a bit smarter. But I did become, I do remember now the kind of the class representative both in my junior and senior year for the IEEE Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. And I did also get a scholarship to really it paid for my college education, both my junior and senior years, by Caterpillar Tractor Company. They had a really great scholarship program, and I was selected to be the student, at least from Iowa State, for my class.
That's phenomenal. So was that something that was always the case for you? Were you just as good of a student in high school, or was it one of those things where you just turned it on in college and you had one of those realization moments?
Well, it wasn't until quite a bit later that my mom put together a little book on my life, almost, I guess you could say, and she put my report card in there from high school, and I was about 20th out of like 600 in my class, so I guess I was
Always, yeah.
high. But
Yeah, so you're always a good
again, I never
student.
considered myself that high, but it was like in retrospect, it was a pretty high ranking.
Yeah. And it's interesting that it was consistent for you because, you hear a lot of stories, right, where people they're a good student in high school and then they burn out when they get to college because they reach that plateau and then they burn out and then they have to turn it back on. But it goes to show that somebody can be a consistently good student from high school and then take the momentum from high school into to college. Now, you said that you were a member of IEEE and you were the president. I was also a member of IEEE and I also competed in my local ethics competition as an IEEE member while studying mechanical engineering. Interesting story there. Maybe if we have time, we'll dig into that. But what kind of involvements were the most important involvements for you as a student? Was it mainly IEEE, or were there other things that you got to take part in?
I ended up being, as far as the IEEE part, I ended up being really the student representative for my class. I did meet with the faculty and try to help shape the curriculum, I guess you could say, so I was really like student government, if you would call it that, but just for, just with the engineering college and just really specifically the electrical engineering college. So trying to get professors to do things that they didn't really like to do and pressuring them from a student's point of view, I guess was kind of my goal.
Yeah. I imagine that that was actually probably a pretty valuable experience when you look back on it, on thinking about business relationships and how that all works. I'm sure that was the first of many rounds of negotiations that you've had in your career.
Never losing focus because I ain't chasing payments. Still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.